All right, I got 4 crazy things that are going on right now that you guys need to be aware of. 1, we've got the bird flu mutating in humans, turning into a severe case. California already declaring an emergency. You won't believe what's happening with the migrants. They're gonna get an app that alerts someone, family members, officials, if they're about to be detained by the US. So yeah, they're gonna have a panic mode on an app. I'll go into that. We've also got a major seafood recall in the US and Canada, a very large severe illness warning, and in the Helene ravaged areas of North Carolina, still not out of the mud. Major flood threats return. Important information that affects you coming right up. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. All right, first, thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Really helps out the channel and gets this out to more people. Biggest thing on the news right now is just the regurgitation of this bird flu thing picking up momentum. And when I say picking up momentum, now it's mutating into severe illness or severe case. So much so that California is declaring an emergency already. This is what's circulating currently about that.
After the virus mutated inside their body, allowing it to more easily infect their upper respiratory system. Dr. Celine Gounder is with us to explain. Dr. Gounder, when you hear the words bird flu, severe case, should we be worried?
You should be concerned about how the U.S. is responding. However, at this point in time, the threat to the general public remains low. So this severe case of bird flu occurred in a man in Louisiana. He's over 65, has underlying medical conditions, was infected by a backyard flock of birds. The key thing here is also that there has been no human-to-human transmission, including in this case.
All right, quick pause. What do you guys think? They're saying it's coming from a backyard flock, right? We've already went through the clarity that they don't want us to have backyard flocks. Tell me what you think. Is this thing a made-up thing? Is it a manufactured thing? That's why it's mutating. And do you guys think, is this a scare tactic, or is this something that they're warning us about, like we've been warned before on big things, that could in fact turn into the next pandemic?
But what is significant about this case is that the man did develop severe disease. We saw a mutation that appears to predispose to that. And the more we allow the virus to spread, to mutate, the more you increase the odds that you'll get mutations that can cause human-to-human transmission, that can cause more severe disease, and that's how you get a pandemic.
What is being done specifically right now to combat that human-to-human transmission that you're talking about?
We really should not be banking on luck. What we need to be doing is a whole lot more testing so that we understand how the virus is spreading, how it's mutating, so we can stay ahead of it.
All right, so that's coming from CBS. Very recent news in the news. Like I said, California's Governor Newsom has already declared emergency over the bird flu. What do I think? I don't know if it's ramping up like crazy, but it's definitely on my radar. Now this one's gonna blow your socks off. Doesn't surprise me, but wow, just a big wow. This also just coming out from MSN News. Mexico tests cell phone app allowing migrants to send an alert if they are about to be detained in the US. And yes, this is detainment for deportation. It's crazy. Let me just give you a couple bullet points here. Mexico is developing a cell phone app that will allow migrants to warn relatives and local consulants if they are about to be detained by the US Immigration Department, a senior official said Friday. Telling you, can't make this stuff up. So of course, the move is in response to President-elect Donald Trump's threat to carry out mass deportations after he takes office on January 20th. So like I said, it's already happening. The app has been rolled out for small-scale testing and appears to be working very well, said Juan Ramon de la Fuente, Mexico's Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Down further along, de la Fuente described it as sort of a panic button. You came across, you're getting kicked out, you got a panic button. Who are they going to call? It says in quotes here, in case you find yourself in a situation where detention is imminent, you push the alert button and that sends a signal to the nearest consulate, he said. Further down it says De La Fuente expects the app to be rolled out in January. He didn't say whether the app has a deactivation tab where it would allow somebody to resend an alert if they weren't really detained. And further down it says the government has already set up a call center staffed 24 hours a day to answer migrant questions. Gotta be kidding me. The Mexican government estimates there are 11.5 million migrants with some form of legal residency in the United States and 4.8 million without legal residency or proper documents, which we'd all agree. We've heard numbers much higher than that, but they're saying proper documents, which can be as simple as pretty much nothing. And before I get to more chaos in North Carolina, hang on tight there. I gotta let you guys know about this major seafood recall that's affecting US and Canada. It says this just hours out, seafood recall issued for US and Canada with severe illness warning. What's going on? The FDA issued an advisory on Friday to alert the public of a recall of oysters shipped to the US and Canada, warning that the products could potentially cause severe illness. Now, I'll keep this one real short. Taylor Shellfish Canada, ULC, issued a recall for certain oysters harvested from the British Columbia because of the norovirus contamination. The oysters were sold as Fanny Bay, Sunseeker, and Cloudy Bay oysters from lot number right there, you can see. Anyway, I'm sure there's not a ton of you out there that are gobbling down the oysters, but there's probably some. Now, this part affects like 4 states. It might be in your local area, but especially the Carolinas. How sad. Major flood warnings for the Carolinas and surrounding states. Crazy thing is it's gonna be mixed with wintry conditions, freezing temps potentially. For an area that's desperately striving for normalcy, this is about to hit them hard today and tomorrow.
Now, the rain in the forecast is nowhere near what we've seen since Helene, but also too since the beginning of this month. We're calling about 1 to 2 inches in the forecast for Asheville, North Carolina.
But check this out. Some areas may see up to 5 inches, followed up by potentially freezing temperatures. Crazy.
There are some areas in the mountains that are expected to see more than that. Look at this forecast. Through tomorrow, so through Sunday, as we're working with this storm pushing across the southeast, severe weather displaced off to the south in spots like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana today. We could see a couple of rumbles of thunder, I think, getting into Sunday. That's going to be the opportunity for some severe weather here getting into western North Carolina, but it is largely just rain. A little further off to the south of Asheville, lower elevations, we could see 3 to 5 inches in the forecast. You get up towards spots like Boone, Watauga County, we could see 2 to 3 inches of rain through now into tomorrow. Here's the forecast, though, as far as those air temperatures. And this is the one good thing about this. The last couple storms that we had working through the mountains that brought rain also brought along with it freezing temperatures and wintry conditions. Ice and snow. We had some winter weather advisories posted up along the Tennessee border and into those northern counties. Now, we are expecting to see temperatures marginal into the 50s, pushing 60 degrees. Through today, it's isolated scattered showers. The overall flood risk further displaced off to the west, but we'll see this begin to fill in with rain, especially going through late tonight and then continuing through the day tomorrow. Asheville, as we go through tomorrow morning, brief break before we see things really work their way in for the second half of our morning and then continuing into the afternoon. Note the severe risk is a little further off to the east into spots like Charlotte and Hickory. That's where we could see some of the lower elevations bring some stronger thunderstorms. Greenville, Anderson into the northern tier of South Carolina. But a couple of rumbles of thunder and lightning certainly not out of the question. The problem with this rain too, not only is it just disruptive, bringing a flood potential, isolated risk, level 1, mostly street flooding. But it is something that we'll be watching closely because of all the debris and the removal and the cleanup process. It does halt when everything gets wet once again.
So like I said, these conditions aren't great. Some news places are warning of some colder temperatures at nights, especially in the mountain regions. But honestly, how sad for the Carolinas and surrounding areas to have to deal with more of this. Anyway, I wanted to get this stuff out to you guys real quick because I know it's going to affect some of you. Be sure to share that out if you know some folks in the area. Keep people informed. Got a lot more coming down the pipe. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.